All right, let's go.
Episode
17,
No, I think it might be 18.
18, my apologies.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we're legal now.
I'll take y'all's word
I
for it.
think.
Hey, Big Mike in the house.
What's up?
Two
Keys.
new movies.
2 new movies, yes.
Some
After
films.
Hours.
1985 After Hours, 1982's
King
Little
of Comedy.
Scorsese
Comedy.
double feature.
Hey, Marty.
The comedy double feature, black comedy double feature. Is that
Can't-
kind of was that what the?
Was that the inspiration? Mike
Yeah,
Black?
well, it was,
Marty.
Yeah, so I was asking you guys, and I found out that you both hadn't seen either. I was like, okay, we'll watch both of these together.
Good call.
I didn't realize that they were so close, like in terms of like one after the other.
Right.
like chronologically.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I have more clips for King of Comedy, so if it's okay with you guys,
no, it's fair.
do
I
After
feel like
Hours.
that's natural.
Yeah.
let's start with After Hours,
Sure.
Boom.
1985.
Why'd you suggest this one? Out of the catalog of Marty.
I hadn't heard of this one before at
Yeah.
all.
Me neither.
So
Me neither.
at where I used to work, I had a guy that I talked to about movies, Doug, a little shout out, who told me about this
What's
kind
up,
of
Doug?
recently, and I guess it got added to Criterion recently, so it's been kind of people have been talking about it a little bit more.
so-
The
Re-
version I watched.
Rediscovery.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I had seen King of Comedy before that, so I was probably just kind of talking to him about like how I liked that Scorsese did something different in King of Comedy, and he was like, "Oh, you gotta check out After Hours." So,
His 80s run.
yeah,
Kinda
what
No,
is
seems
that's fair
like-
too because there's definitely similarities with the comedy. I mean, they're not super similar, but you can see that.
yeah,
They got that dark comedy.
it's a nice like they go together. Like,
Yeah.
it's just something about
They're
it.
complimentary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys think?
I liked After Hours. It was good, like kind of. It took me a while to get into it. I'd say the first like 30 minutes, I wasn't really super sure how to feel about it. And it started clicking with me that it was going to be this kind of comedy trip through a night with this guy.
Yeah.
You know, and the stuff was going to be kind of goofy and sort of he was just kind of moved through things. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
Same. Once I figured out the tone,
Yeah.
it took me a while.
Yeah, that's
like
the
Mike
thing. I
said.
guess I didn't understand the tone for.
I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know. It's Marty. I don't know where the shit's finna go.
Yeah.
But,
Had to learn to watch it, I guess.
Yeah. I found it to be humorous. It was very dreamlike.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure that was intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Very otherworldly. And one thing that I personally love as a history buff, I love a good depiction of any time of pre-Giuliani New York.
Yeah.
So, you just got to...
Soho.
This and King of Comedy actually would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like that's that area, Soho. Like they talk about like the Mercer and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just like crazy good cast in this.
Yeah,
Griffin
Rosanna
Dunn,
Arquette.
Rosanna Arquette is like so great.
My boy,
Um,
Paul Hackett.
Cheech and Chong.
Cheech
Yeah,
and Chong.
Cheech and
Yeah.
Chong.
I caught that in the beginning.
Yeah.
Terry Garr, who passed kind of recently.
Rest in peace, man.
she-
Catherine O'Hara.
I actually
Yeah.
it
Is she
opens
the
with
mom in Home Alone?
yes,
yeah,
yes,
okay,
and then the
okay.
dad is
Yeah.
also in it.
Oh, I didn't. I
Yeah, he's the
wouldn't have even-
bartender guy, right?
Oh,
Isn't
John
he-
Hurd.
Yeah.
John Hurd. Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't he also the dad in Home Alone?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yeah, John Hurd.
And then it opens with Bronson Pinchot, who is in True Romance, but he's also in Beverly Hills Cop. I think in all of them as like this kind of effeminate, like, kind of Frenchman
Surge.
dude.
I thought that was Surge.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Surge. Yeah. You ain't seen Beverly Hills
No,
Cop.
I haven't seen Beverly Hills Cop.
I,
but-
yeah, I
We
would recommend
will.
at least the first one.
At least the
Okay.
first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Surge.
Yeah, so I had seen it not too long ago.
Mhm.
I had kind of forgotten how dark the beginning is.
Yeah.
Like it's like I remembered that she dies, but like I had kind of forgotten the whole thing with the scars and like I'm like oh my, because it gets so funny and like kind of screwball after that that it's like it's just like yeah it does so many kind of different things.
Just
You
some
know?
tonal clash for a second.
Yeah.
It actually kind of ends up working though, because I started to relax into it and be like, okay, let's start laughing at, because I kind of started laughing at her being dead eventually.
Yeah.
It starts being like, oh,
It starts to not be as much of a big deal as one would think.
Yeah.
In a movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. Very dreamy, like I said.
Yeah.
And it all takes place on one night.
Yeah.
I like the ending as well. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, sure,
off
why
the
not?
back. I just like the whole drops him right back off.
Another
Yeah,
day at work, start over.
it gets described as Kafka-esque, and I saw that like a big part of it.
Kafka.
So I guess
Kafka-esque.
King of Comedy came before this, and then
Right, 82.
Yeah, 82.
he was trying to
85.
do Last Temptation of Christ.
I
around
just
this
seen
time,
that.
Okay,
and,
I
like,
still haven't seen that.
I
Well,
haven't seen it.
It was
either.
never made, right?
No, it was made like I think in '88, but he
Oh, okay.
like for whatever reason he had to abandon it at this time, and this was kind of him trying to prove that he could do like a small cheap movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I also saw that Tim Burton was like originally gonna do it,
considered.
and then like once he saw that Scorsese wanted to do it, he was like, "Oh, I'll let him do it."
Yeah, that's what I saw as well. Did this movie, was it a success? Or was it another one of, Scorsese's 80s?
I know that King of Comedy wasn't a success,
Yeah, it
and
was
that
a massive
also,
bomb.
I think I saw
led-
something about this where it's
That was
more
also-
of a cult hit after the fact.
yeah,
With a Criterion release, but I don't think it made back its cost in theater.
No,
It was like $9
King of
million to
Comedy
make
had
it.
a
It was like $2.5 million.
$19 million budget,
Yeah.
$2 million box. But like we said, we're on After Hours. What did After Hours make? I wonder.
I actually don't even know.
I think I'm just gonna say this. This might be complete bullshit, but I think I remember it being something like it cost $9 million to make, and they got like $2 million, $2.5 million
man.
back or something.
I can understand
It's
that.
as more critical success after the fact with a Criterion release. That's pretty recent, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did get some clips. Let me see.
Ooh, let's hear.
I said I want to see a plaster of Paris bagel and cream cheese paperweight. Now cough it up.
Let me see.
I just wanted to leave. My apartment, maybe meet a nice girl. And now I've got to die for it?
You're just trying to get laid a little bit.
And that's
Yeah,
true.
it
My
ended up
boy
being a
just
little-
wanted to get a little butt.
It got surrealistic too, with like the whole town essentially coming after him at the end.
Yeah.
Bro, when I love this whole this subplot of burglars and the neighbors roaming around looking for burglars.
Ridiculous.
I love when he like
You aren't a burglar, are
when
you?
he's like in her room and he just like glances into the window and sees the couple having sex, and then like just like some crazy stuff that like when he's in the restroom and he sees like the drawing on the wall.
I
of,
love
like,
that the shark and
the
the
shark,
yeah, the shark eating that dude.
Yeah. And like when he's like in the bar and the couple's just like making out like right there, like what's her name? Marcy.
Yeah, there's a bunch of slapstick moments when he uses the guy's toilet and it overflows and it's like
Yeah.
full of the blue stuff,
Yeah,
you
full of
know,
the
which
blue
I
shit.
think a lot of people have probably done on accident at some point in your life. Something went wrong with some
Yeah.
plumbing, and it's like your situation. to
You
deal
looking
with.
for that plunger? You say,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
kind of motherfucker ain't got no plunger?
Yeah, it's a really fun movie. It's
I think
it's really
underrated.
hot. Like
I would say it's underrated just because I hadn't
Absolutely.
heard about it at all. You know, I feel like at some point you feel like you've heard of every Scorsese movie somehow just by like osmosis of like
Yeah.
film knowledge. But this is definitely a hidden gem for me. I mean, I don't know,
Definitely.
I hadn't heard about it. I mean, it
Well-
does have some low key cast, you know, I guess.
yeah,
Knowing what I know now about Scorsese's 80s, I think the general consensus is his 80s movies weren't as successful as what I've seen, you know. But some of his,
Seems like there was an ebb and flow, and then
Yeah.
he kind of really picked up hard again in the 90s,
Yeah.
and then again in the 2000s, again a couple other
Oh,
times.
the scene like where he's at where he gets like turned away at the train station, and someone's like,
Yeah.
"There must be a full moon tonight." That's like a reference to American Werewolf in London.
Okay,
oh, really?
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
which Griffin done. I haven't seen that, but I hear it's really good.
I have to, yeah. Also, haven't seen that.
I love how the city is a character kind of as well
Yeah,
in this.
I mean, Scorsese is like, I mean, a lot. That's kind of like a cliche almost now, and people are like, "Oh yeah,"
He's a New Yorkophile.
or like New York is the main character. But it's like, if you are gonna watch a movie shot in New York, it might as well be Scorsese. You
Yeah.
know, he's,
Yeah,
he's
of
one of the
course.
masters.
Definitely.
I did see that he showed De Palma, Spielberg, and Terry Gilliam the ending and got their opinions about it because he like wasn't sure how to end it.
Oh,
Thought
okay.
that was kind of interesting.
It's actually, now I think about it, it's kind of Terry. Have you seen Brazil?
I have
I
not.
don't think I've ever finished it.
Most of the,
not.
I wouldn't say most of the movie. I wouldn't say is Brazil-esque, other than some of it getting kind of dreamlike near the end, where weird stuff just starts happening back to back. It gets
Yeah.
goofier and goofier, and then but the way he gets to pause at his desk at his little computer terminal. Brazil takes place
All
a lot
dusty.
in those kind of gnarly office spaces where you're just doing work, and there is some similarity there.
I have been wanting to have Brazil come up. It's,
Yeah.
I haven't
it's
seen it in a
very,
long
like-
time, so I'd always be happy to rewatch it again.
I was kind of watching a video talking about how it was a very controversial movie because like it was like Terry Gilliam versus the production company.
well, it
And I saw something about him talking about how it kind of ruined his reputation and
Dang.
like
I remember enjoying it, but it definitely seems like it's as much Terry Gilliam as you could possibly get, and them letting him actually do it once. And it is a ton of really impressive visuals, and I don't really remember it.
I
that
remember
well,
12
so.
Monkeys a little bit better, but I
Yeah,
barely
yeah,
remember
yeah.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
I barely
That
remember
is pretty
that.
good.
But anyways, back to Marty.
After
Marty.
Hours.
Marty.
Yeah, I think that about covers it.
It
on
is
my
funny. I
notes.
mean, I
It's-
enjoyed
it's funny. Yeah.
two entries into one of two entries we've seen of Martin Scorsese's, I guess, comedy output, and
Right.
I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed this one a lot.
Oh, yeah, I just love Kiki Bridges and when she's like, "Some women are covered in scars."
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, I think it might be a slow burn getting
it kinda,
into
like,
it,
reminds
but
me-
it's a pretty
Takes
good
about
film.
30 minutes, I feel
I was-
like, to let you know what it's going to do.
I was gonna say like kind of Big Lebowski, kind of like
Yeah,
in
yeah,
that
definitely, for sure,
sleeper-
for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
It's a little less straightforward with like being funny.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you have to like
yeah.
start learning to laugh at a little bit.
But I was also gonna say kind of Warriors, like
It definitely. That's what I
There
was
you
gonna
go.
say. Like not
All
even
right.
Warriors, but have you seen Good Time with like
I have
Robert
not.
Pattinson?
I've heard of it.
That's another one where it's just an escalating night into like darkness within. In this case,
I've
also
heard
New
of
York
it.
City.
Is this the one with he's in the limo? Good Time with Robert Pattinson. I don't
I
know.
don't know if he's in a limo or not. I don't think so. Not necessarily. I don't know.
yeah.
I'll watch
I would
it
recommend
one
it
day.
though.
Heard it's good.
But it is another like night out kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Warriors.
I
That's
love
for
the
sure.
Punk Club.
Yeah, I like
Close
that
is
shit
over
too.
There was a little cameo of like some of the members of the Clash because they had like a
Yeah, I saw that
concert
on the,
around-
on the old Wikipedia. Yeah.
like
Marty
when-
liked them cameos.
Was he in it also?
Oh
I
no,
saw
that's
a guy.
actually that's
Is
King
that
of
the-
Comedy.
okay,
His
okay,
mom's
okay,
in it.
I'm getting
okay.
ahead of myself.
His mom's in this.
Oh,
No,
okay,
you're
okay.
getting ahead of us as well.
No, I'm not. His mom is in this.
Oh, she's in.
Oh,
Yeah,
see, I
check
think
the
there's
cast.
cameos in a couple
Oh,
of
and
them
like the
crossover.
bar and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. If you had to give it a score, I guess.
I'll give it a score.
Mike.
I'll give it a score.
On our
Let's see.
new scoring system.
But oh yeah, I forgot the new scoring system that I brought up.
Imperial nut.
Actually, you know what? I seriously was thinking of like scoring this based on another thing, which is the next movie we're going to talk about.
Right.
Which I'll say right now, I did like. I felt like a lot more than this movie almost.
Right.
I don't know if a lot more, but I definitely enjoyed it. There's definitely a step up, so I'm gonna give this movie I'm gonna give it an 83.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
That's really
that's
good.
what we're gonna do.
Not
Thinking
what
about
we're gonna do.
Scorsese, thinking about another movie did like it, which we're gonna talk about, and a couple other things. I'm gonna put at an 83 out of 100.
Okay. I like that.
Enjoyed it. Would recommend.
For me, I'm gonna go more. I'm gonna go more maybe like a 75. You know,
Okay.
not necessarily a movie that I would say is a must watch, but I think if you watch it, you would enjoy it. I don't know if I would necessarily run back to rewatch it as much as I would rewatch the next film we're gonna talk about. But yeah, definitely a
Yeah, I agree.
75, and I think a 75 is respectable on the new scale. You know what I mean?
You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm giving it a 78. Yeah, I'm serious. You made me think about it a little bit, and it's a 78. I'm gonna take it back. I'm docking it a couple points because I was thinking about the new scale.
But I
I'm giving it
seriously though,
For real, though.
I think Martin Scorsese's 80s out. Now that I know what's going on, like with him and his career and what people consider his greats, his highs and his lows, I love this period of him.
I had no idea this was here. I hadn't seen any of these movies.
I had
didn't
no
really
idea.
know.
I've heard of King of Comedy, and we're not on that yet, but I've heard of this period, but I didn't know he was, doing so much with so little, per se. But yeah,
Yeah, so sorry to do that, but I do have to go ahead and change it to a 78.
78.
Yes,
Nope,
officially.
no problem.
A
No problem.
respectful 78.
I feel a
Right,
little.
Keegan?
I feel a little pressured, but
No, dude.
I'm gonna go 84.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 84. I enjoy After Hours. I mean, I know Scorsese. He's a legend. It's
No
hard.
doubt.
It's hard to say if something like a Goodfellas or like a Casino isn't better than this, but it's like,
This is different.
this is different, and it's like, I give
And it's still
points. I give a
successful.
couple points to directors trying to do something that's like not what they're known for. So yeah, did I say 84?
Yeah, 84.
I'm feeling it.
I
Okay,
think
so
84 is a
taking
great
a risk,
score.
bonus points.
Yeah, I mean, like you can give bonus points.
No,
It's-
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
agree
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
I mean, because think about it. I mean, one misstep, your career could be over in this business. And the
Yeah.
fact that he got to do it over and over again, I mean, with the next film coming out before and being a flop, and then
Well,
with this
I,
film,
I do think it's like, and this is kind of getting ahead, but like, I always think about like when like something I would hear like Patrice when he would talk about movies and stuff, he would bring up like how M. Night Shyamalan versus like Kevin Costner, like there's certain moves that you can make as a director that's like you might not get as much money the next time. But like you're always going to be able to make some kind of movie, you know what I mean?
right. I got what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Self-funded
So
or
it's
do
like-
something.
As
Yeah.
even Marty in the 80s, like he might not have been able to finish Last Temptation the way he wanted to, but like he could do After Hours, you know what I mean? And also like when we did the Clockwork Orange and I was doing the research on that, like it was kind of the same thing. Kubrick was like trying to prove with Clockwork Orange after,
Space Odyssey.
Space Odyssey that like I can do a small,
Right.
low budget movie that's successful.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, moving.
I'll say he made a damn good film.
Yes, I mean he successfully did that.
Now we're
Yeah.
moving on to
King
another
of Comedy.
Marty
The
feature.
Kings of Comedy. No, just kidding. The King of Comedy.
1982.
1982, The King of Comedy, crime thriller.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro,
Rupert.
Jerry Lewis,
Yeah, Jerry Lewis.
brother.
Yeah,
what a surprise!
See, I barely remembered Jerry Lewis, and then all these memories came flooding back.
Dr.
Of like
Dolittle.
It was that was one of the main ones. Is accidentally getting the old Dr. Dolittle, trying to get the new Dr. Dolittle when I was a kid. The biggest disappointment of my
you
life.
torrented Dr. Dolittle?
No. I'm talking about when I was a kid. We went to the rental place and we were like, get the new Dr. Dolittle. It's out on VHS. Pick it up. They showed up with this black and white shit with this old dude. It wasn't what anybody wanted to see. So, and I remember that. And then also his little like donation drive kind of things he used to do.
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember that. It was a
The
big thing.
Jerry Lewis telethon.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
kids.
telethons and shit.
Yeah.
I'm more like familiar with that because like references to it.
Yeah,
you
jokes
know.
about it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely part of pop culture for
Yeah.
sure.
But yeah, he kills it in this.
He kills it.
Yeah.
Can I give some trivia?
It's
off
Jerry
top about Jerry?
Langford.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So Jerry Lewis as Jerry Langford in this, his career was ice cold at the time. He hadn't had a Hollywood movie in over 10 years, and essentially, like, his career was ice cold, and
I saw he had like a chain of theaters that had,
it went bankrupt.
Yeah.
Damn,
And he was not the initial
Damn, Jerry.
choice for this. It was, of course, Johnny Carson, but he
Yeah.
turned it down because
okay, I didn't know that.
Johnny doesn't like to do multiple takes.
Yeah.
So we finally landed on Jerry Lewis as Jerry Langford.
Yeah.
Hell of a thing to demand as
And
an
then
actor.
did you see
Hell
the
of a
producer,
Uh,
D. Cordova, or I think that's Roy? That's actually
Oh yeah, for the Tonight Show.
that was actually
producer.
Johnny's producer.
Okay,
Right.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry brought a lot to the set. Actually, he directed most of the TV scenes.
Oh, okay.
You know, Scorsese just
That's
kind of
dope.
like handed the reins over to him.
Yeah, definitely had a legit like late night or Tonight Show style
Yeah.
vibe. You know.
They even used the same cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool seeing the switch over between the quality of the image versus the actual
Yeah.
film back to the recordings.
Yeah.
But go ahead, sir.
Oh no. I mean,
Off top. what-
Tell us about it, Keith.
Why'd you recommend it? Why'd you recommend it? Do you think?
just because it's a classic for one, and it's really funny. It's
Is this revenge for the Joker episode?
I mean, like, yeah.
So are there similarities between? I never saw the
Oh,
Joker,
my
but whenever
God.
I saw it, I heard
You
a few
never saw
references.
Joker?
I
Oh.
didn't see it.
Oh, we gonna
Afraid
get
I
into
just
it.
kinda-
I
okay,
just
okay.
saw it kind of recently, and like I was talking to him about it,
Obviously, De Niro's in it as well.
and I was saying like, oh, I thought it was good, but I thought it was like, I mean, I don't want to say too referential, but it's like because obviously like they're not trying to hide the fact that
There's a
it's
point
inspired by
Yeah.
this
where
movie.
homage
Of
can
course.
become ripoff. I
Yeah.
think,
But yeah, so like
and it teeters that line.
in Joker, De Niro is like the talk show host.
I've seen
and,
a
yeah.
couple clips, of some
And-
sequences.
Yeah, so like Joaquin Phoenix is basically the obsessed.
The opposite.
Yeah. But yeah, that just made me like want to watch this again. You know, like
No,
a
it's
lot.
definitely. I mean, even not having seen Joker, I could tell like, oh, I think there was some similarities from what I've heard about what happened in that, and just some clips I'd seen between those two things.
Watching this is now I understand why you had that initial reaction to the Joker when we did the Joker episode, and now that I've seen Joker and this, I'm thinking like, yeah, man, it got Joker beat, man.
And also, like, I was like, I wanted to do this one because I actually watched this movie initially because of O&A.
yeah,
Like, they would always
Oh, did they talk about it?
they would always reference this movie, like a lot of the clips that we'll get to here soon. But like, I just would always like
Rupert Pupkin.
normally it would be like Anthony being like, "Mom, I'm busy down here." Like,
okay, so I have okay.
but yeah, like
Yeah.
they would always be like, "Oh, Rupert Pupkin," or they would just like
Well-
throw in little lines that would like reference it.
I'll tell you, by the about 30 minutes into this movie, I was pro Rupert Pupkin. To be honest, I was getting pretty into him by the end of it.
Oh, yeah?
He's-
And
yeah.
and Sandra Bernhardt, who I know
Ugly
as a
hot.
comedian,
Right.
like
Actress though. as
yeah,
well.
like but she's incredible.
She had a
in
hell
this,
of a
like,
presence.
she had a,
Yeah,
this
like-
was her first film.
Like I've never seen a more like
Ugly hot person in my life.
just like
I
great
mean, she's got a
or just
unique- very
great
unique
portrayal
face
of like
for
a
sure.
crazed person.
a crazed
fan.
Like let me I don't know what clip is where, but let me
Let's
see.
hear it.
Mom! What is it? Please stop calling me.
that's Scorsese's mom.
Yeah.
Dude, his shrine to like his whole set
It's
to
a
like Jerry's
Jerry's?
all the stuff he had going on was incredible.
And how they
I
like
appreciate
reveal
it.
it more and
him-
more.
Well, there was a couple times where I felt like they got a little surrealistic with it because at one point he's in like a huge hallway with the crowd and
Yeah.
laughing, but it keeps zooming out and he's still. and I'm like, okay, now we're getting a little bit of liberty. I think we're getting abstract. But his set where he gets to sit down and do the show,
His
I
little
was
corner,
actually
With,
his
like,
little dark
the
ass.
set in
Liza
general
and-
being made, but also just respect to him for having.
Yeah.
He's got a basement
where he's like
recreation.
sitting
That
by
was
Jerry
great.
and Liza Minnelli.
Yeah,
with their cutouts.
I see the awful, terrible things in my life and turn it into something funny.
That was a clip that they would always play on the show. Let me see.
Okay.
That's terrific.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've heard that a million times.
Yeah.
Okay, that one really hit home for me.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't
I heard
recognize
that.
that.
I want to be black.
Better to be king for a night than schmuck for a lifetime.
That's the perfect.
Wait, so is the actress that played his like kind of love interest sort of in the film that he's dragging around? That's his,
That's Robert De Niro's wife at the
at
time.
the
Yeah,
time.
I didn't realize
which
that
is
the
one
first
of
time I
the
watched
one of the
it.
last great spellings of Diane. DIAHNNE.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a one.
From
Hell of a
76 to 88, and
Yeah.
apparently she's in Taxi Driver as well.
Got into a couple of the
De
movies.
Niro loving his sister
Yeah,
since day one.
hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is he with like a?
I don't know.
Okay.
I
I
think he
didn't
just
know if
had a kid though.
Let's see what. No, I forgot.
I
Yeah,
feel
he
like I did
just
hear
have
that
a
maybe.
He
kid.
just had a baby.
Or was
yeah.
it Pacino?
It's Pacino.
Okay.
I think it's. I don't
Now
know.
I'm thinking about Tommy Lee Jones for some reason. All these white guys, we have this
Al
myth to them.
Pacino.
What do you? What? Okay.
Oh, I did see that, like, in the scene where he's in the house where Jerry throws him out.
Yeah.
I was watching this one video that said that he started throwing some anti-Semitic slurs at him.
Oh,
That was one of
shit.
my
Right before
trivia
he's like,
pieces.
yeah, so it was Hitler or whatever. When he brings up Hitler,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that was
kind of out of
crazy,
nowhere.
yeah.
It said that, yeah.
Jerry didn't know what method acting was or what Marty like. He didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
And he said afterwards they were able to patch it up. You know what I mean? But at the time he was like, nah, man.
Oh, I saw too. Paul Zimmerman was like the writer for this. Who he initially was thinking of Dick Cavett, who Marty didn't want. Like he said, he wanted Johnny Carson, but they
Yeah.
also considered Orson Welles.
Oh my
And then they
Interesting,
thought about
interesting.
Sinatra.
It's probably for best.
And then
that
it
didn't work
said,
out.
like,
know what we know now.
They went to the rest of the Rat Pack, who I guess Jerry Lewis was part of the Rat Pack.
Yeah.
Okay,
Interesting. Okay, and
Well, they went through like Dean Martin and
Sinatra.
Sinatra and you know, Tommy.
I don't know my white history properly. The rap.
Oh, like it's kind of inspired too by, like, you know, Lennon being killed in 1980, and then John Hinckley, who the video I was watching was saying that he was inspired by Taxi Driver. I was just like kind of questioning that.
Is that
like,
a known thing?
Is
Yeah,
that like
yeah.
100%?
I don't know. I'd have to look into it.
That
I
that
don't
I
know.
don't
Hinckley
know if he
was.
said it.
I know,
but
like the Jodie. Well, I guess because he was obsessed
Jodie
with Jodie
Foster.
Foster, so
Yeah.
maybe yeah.
yeah. This movie was also based on
I guess it would have to have been from Taxi Driver if he was, right? I mean, what else was she?
Yeah, but like there was also I guess someone who was in Raging Bull. She was attacked also.
yeah, she was.
She was attacked by like a
She got
random
stabbed.
dude.
So much darkness
Yeah, like-
surrounding the Scorsese
It said that like
verse.
someone pretended to be like
Like
the
an
dude.
agent.
The dude pretended to be close to Marty and called her mom and got the address.
Oh,
and stabbed her.
diabolical!
Yeah.
Yeah, so like all that was kind of like looming around.
All these films.
Yeah, but like it was kind of more that De Niro wanted to do it. He actually bought the screenplay. From,
Yeah, like in the 70s.
Yeah, and they kind of thought about Michael Cimino. I think that's how you say it. The dude who did Deer Hunter.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Have you ever seen that?
I
haven't.
Okay, so Deer Hunter for me was a movie that was like on for some reason when I was like a little baby, like a little kid, and saw it a lot as like a child. It
weird.
was like
I
a
saw it
double
recently.
VHS, like
Hell
one of those
yeah.
movies that was like long.
I was very.
Yeah, for some reason I saw a lot of it as a kid.
I was a little disappointed.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I think
Yeah.
it's one of those ones where it's kind of like it's almost like the Crash of its.
Interesting.
You know
Yeah.
the Crash I'm talking of, like 2000 or whatever.
I gotta check
I
that
do
out.
kind of want to watch Crash again now.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it's funny of it.
Yeah.
Also, did you see in your trivia that Robert De Niro he based Rupert a lot on this Kiss mega fan?
Yeah, I did see that.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Well,
Fat Vinny
What?
Gonzalez. Yeah, Fat Vinny.
Also saw that he shadowed what's his name, Richard Belzer.
Really? Oh shoot.
Like he was trying to, you know, actually
Interesting.
learn more about comedy
Wait,
and,
let me ask y'all, how
and super fans.
how'd y'all feel about Rupert's stand-up ultimately?
Hit
What's
that
he-
set at the
I
end.
thought it was. Well, I didn't
I
think
think
it was
he
that
kinda
bad.
killed it.
I didn't think it was
Killed
that
it.
bad,
He
dude.
killed it.
For like one of those 80s
Completely sold me. I mean,
crunchy ass.
I mean, ultimately, it is a success story. Like the
Yeah.
movie completely shows like this all pays off, and I thought I thought it was good.
I just love that
Like,
scene where he's standing up there with the TV, like
yeah.
like,
yeah.
I just got to do this
What
one
a-
thing.
What a
Like,
great
I'm the
ending!
man.
Just to be like,
And-
hell yeah,
and
Rupert.
what does he say? He's like,
he only does
he's
2
like,
years.
just because I get big, I'm not going to forget you.
Better to be king.
That
for the
scene
night.
where like they're in the house and she steals something.
yeah. She grabs it real quick. I love Jono, the house guy who like brings him in. He's like,
yeah.
everything's going wrong.
Yeah.
He's like,
Oh, I saw that the scene where like where he's at the door and he's like trying to get it
Yeah,
open.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, I've been out here for 8 years, 8 minutes. I saw that was actually like the door was stuck for real.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I saw that like a lot of the stuff was improv, like where he takes the mints
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, you want one?" And she's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Yeah, it's not convenient right now." Yeah, a lot of improv.
I feel like
stuff.
a lot of maybe what Rupert was saying was improv because he's a nonstop talking motherfucker.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
he's got some great lines.
Yeah, I love
That's some
Rupert.
great lines, bro.
Um,
Watching this now, I can like. I really enjoyed this film. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah, I did too.
I
liked it
wasn't
a lot.
expecting to, honestly.
I didn't know what I was getting into. I definitely know it was going. I didn't know it was going to be this kind of a Robert De Niro performance. There's not that many of them like this, are there? Or he's. I just felt like it
He
was.
just
a very,
takes over the.
I don't know, just like a different kind of character. You know, he was kind of just weird and goofy. He wasn't like a menacing guy. I don't know. I just
He felt a little menacing.
Well,
Towards
yeah, definitely.
When he was sitting in that
is.
lobby,
Whoa, yeah.
after a while, he was like,
Yeah.
"Sir,
Once he becomes the king.
What's weird is no, actually, I felt like he was more awkward and menacing earlier when he's not leaving the lobby before you kind of like start rooting for him. Kind of,
Yeah.
I feel like later it's kind of like I sort of want him to see him succeed. Mm-hmm. But earlier he was just being really annoying. I guess.
Yeah, he was annoying as hell. He's living in his own world.
Before
He's-
you
know
accept
what I mean?
it for what it is, he's being very
Exactly.
annoying.
What y'all think about his little Cockney scheme to get into Jerry's limo in the beginning?
Oh,
With
yeah.
his-
He like throws you into that immediately.
I didn't know
you
him and Sandra Bernhard were in cahoots.
Yeah.
No,
that was
that's
good.
definitely a revelation.
That was good coverage right there.
Mom!
What is it?
Please stop calling me.
Yo,
I want to be black.
I love the pride and joy card. Here's my pride and joy.
Oh, that was so
You can
corny.
hang on to that.
Yeah.
Hang on to that.
And also just like how it goes between his delusions and like reality so
Yeah,
well.
that was shot really well. His
Yeah, I like
conversation
those.
with like Jerry Langford, that
When
was,
he was like,
not real.
Huh, you're brilliant. You're more than brilliant.
Yeah.
He starts choking him and
Yeah.
shit.
He's got his hands all over.
Yeah, he's shaking him.
Oh my god, I love that. I was gonna say Marty had a cameo in both. In this one, he was like the lighting guy.
Yeah.
No, in After Hours, he was adjusting the lights. In
Yeah,
this, he
he's
was the
up
director.
top, yeah.
He was like talking to take that napkin from around.
Yeah, he was next to that guy. I liked how he didn't the host of the show guy, he didn't believe that joke would kill, and he walks out and says it, and he's like,
Oh, yeah.
okay, he goes with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Both.
Rupert Pumpkin, Pipkin, Pashkin.
Yeah, I love that. People often mispronounce it and misspell it. Yeah.
I don't mind waiting. No, I don't mind.
Yeah, he'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, I can wait.
Now, are you speaking for Jerry?
Yeah.
I don't trust your judgment.
Yeah. Really, really good.
Did you like the scene when he was recording his demo?
Yeah.
It was so corny. His mind. Now, Jerry, first and foremost, I want to thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. De Niro's a legend. Like,
Kills it.
yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
could talk his ass off.
Yeah.
I give it to him.
But yeah, Sandro, when he's like got the tape all over him.
Yeah.
She's
When it
just
cuts
like-
back to him being completely like paper mache.
Yeah. I just feel like right here on the table, like
I just want to.
I just want to get crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
he bonks her the first chance he gets.
yeah, like when he slaps her.
He's like,
Untape me.
untape me.
Yeah.
She's like, okay. She's
When he shoots her, and she actually like flinches a little bit. Yeah.
I didn't know what he was gonna do. I thought he was gonna bonk her a little.
Yeah, I didn't know what happened.
She was taking them clothes off. I was like, oh, what you finna do? But yeah, he got to get out of there. That was good though. That's a
I
good
live in a
scene.
hovel. What does he say?
I live in a hovel.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I would say great fucking watch. If I had to rate it, I don't know if we rate them yet.
Yeah, I mean it's we're getting close. Yeah.
Give it a good old 92, man.
Oh shit.
I'm not mad at
I'm
that.
gonna bust it
Oh,
up there
shit.
at 92.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm gonna put it up there. I liked it much more than After Hours, not to compare
Personally
it to.
did too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy to compare them just because
Yeah,
you know
we
here we
watch
are.
them
We
back
watched
to
them back to back. Yeah. I mean,
It
It's
felt
Marty.
there are similarities.
Yeah.
Yeah. That are
Similarities.
comedic.
There's laughs to be
and
had.
I agree. Yeah. After Hours, I think they're both attempts at comedy. I felt like King of Comedy just delivered that comedy more crisper and clearer to me. You know,
And it
I
was
knew
so
I was supposed to be laughing
dark.
earlier. Yeah.
And I mean,
so dark too.
in all of his movies, there's funny moments. You
for
know,
sure.
like
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Departed. You know.
Yeah.
I gotta watch
He
that
says,
one still.
Patriot Act, Patriot Act.
Yeah.
You remember that? Alec Baldwin. I don't know what.
It's been a while since
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah,
that one, but yeah.
But yeah, I give it a crispy 92, man.
Crispy, yeah, it is
You
crispy.
know,
It's
I just
fresh.
think this is a just immaculate directing.
Wow.
Immaculate storytelling.
Damn.
I
That's
love
beautiful.
De Niro in this. I love Jerry fucking Lewis in this.
Yeah, he's really good. I hadn't really seen him before.
I mean,
I love the way he looks.
he
I mean,
looks
I don't
so
know. I just can't
fly.
really, yeah.
He
I
look-
took a picture of. At one point, I paused the movie. I took a picture of him.
Yeah.
I was just like, damn.
I love those scene like where he actually did that too, where he's like, where he's finally released and
He's like
Rupert's on
engulfed in
TV,
darkness.
and he's like on like 6 different TVs.
Yeah.
And he's just like
He's
looking like,
pissed.
damn, he did it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also had a piece of trivia about Jerry. Initially, his name wasn't Jerry Langford; it was something else. But Jerry Lewis convinced Scorsese to let him be Jerry because when he's walking down the street, people were naturally going to be like, "Hey, Jerry!"
Well, even Robert is Rupert. You know, it's not that far off.
I was gonna say
Not
I
that
saw
far
that Jerry actually wanted Rupert to kill him in the end, but Marty didn't like that.
It's kind of what I thought was going down for a long
Yeah.
time.
But I also
Interesting.
love can you just say hello to my son? He's sick. No, I'm very busy. I hope you
yeah, I love that way. He was getting harassed that whole walk down, the whole walk over.
That was a real story.
Yeah.
Jerry Lewis said that really happened to him.
Damn.
Hope you get cancer.
It's bound to happen eventually, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, can we talk about the whole like underground Hollywood? I mean, groupie scene or what?
Yeah.
Autograph hounder. These people like Sandra
Yeah, when
Bernhardt's
he's like showing
character.
her the autographs. Like, now this one's the biggest. Like, what was he like? He had that
Oh,
little
yes, yeah. There's that
line.
really. She couldn't get it right that it was supposed to be his. You
yeah,
know.
yeah, shitty handwriting.
Yeah. Well, she said something about how
The
this
more
must be
scribbled the
indicative.
name, the bigger the fame.
Yeah. And she had immediately said something negative about it too, like who's this dingus who drew this big one or whatever. Yeah, remember what the
I
line
did see
was?
something about like people that have like antisocial, whatever kind of mental syndrome he had. They tend to have shitty handwriting because they stopped developing as children. I mean, if we kind of key into his little clues about his childhood, because that fucking set,
Handwriting's bad.
I was like, oh, okay, this is why you are who you are. This set was real.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say
That's
people
such
stop.
a successful dysfunctional guy though to have that set.
Yeah.
Even just kind of
Yeah.
like
That autistic or whatever it is,
How
you
it's
know,
like-
and have that set.
It's crazy.
how it's like he has this whole dream of comedy, but it's like he would never even think to like go try to do a set at a club, you know?
But he has a
Yeah.
full minute plus he
Yeah,
can
he
actually
has
do. It's not
material.
bad. It's material
He-
for sure.
He tells Jerry, but I'm 34. I kind of want to skip all
yeah,
that.
I'm like, I don't have the time for that.
Start at the top, baby.
But yeah,
But yeah, 92 for me. What do you guys think?
Okay, man. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give it an 89.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm gonna put it. I really enjoyed it. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I'd heard about it a lot, but it was one of those Scorsese movies that was like a couple layers below some of the top ones people talk about, and it just hadn't I just hadn't caught it right.
Yeah.
I knew it was De Niro. I knew it was a different vibe. I kind of knew some of the stuff it was about, but I didn't know about De Niro's performance in it. I love that. I didn't know how funny it would be. I didn't know if it was going to be King of Comedy and not be comedic at all, be some sort of
Yeah.
tragedy.
That's the
I
punchline.
had heard about some similarities to Joker. I'd seen a scene from the Joker with De Niro that I thought was going to kind of relate to this. Well, I don't know. I thought it was super funny. I love Rupert. I love that
Yeah.
performance of Rupert. I love all the annoying shit he does. It took me about 30 minutes. It's kind of like After Hours. It took me 30 minutes to think After Hours was funny, but I still kept getting a little confused by it. Kings of Comedy. King of Comedy.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
King of Comedy also took me about 30 minutes, but then I just thought it was funny through and through, pretty much to the end.
Yeah.
Everything about it was humorous, even the dark stuff kind of. Whereas After Hours, I got a little confused occasionally, and it'd be back in it, and it'd be surreal, and it'd be scary, and it'd be funny. King of
Yeah.
Comedy is just funny.
Yeah.
With a really core piece of great acting. A couple of them really, but definitely De Niro and obviously
Yeah.
Jerry Lewis, but De
and
Niro
Sandra.
keeping it together. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Oh,
this,
yeah.
core just act. There's not that many other people bouncing off them too often.
And like enough little things to like make it seem real.
Yeah.
Like Jerry Lewis could have had a show around that time, you know.
All
like,
the sets, like The Office, when you walk the set with him talking to the receptionist, when
Oh,
it
it's
cuts
so,
in and
like-
she has so much shit on her desk, you can see all of a sudden all the blue. It's
Yeah.
just something you wouldn't see now built that way for any
the
reason.
scene like where he's like
Right.
where he like sneaks back and like they stay.
They go around
On
those
the-
crystals.
Oh
That-
yeah,
that
yeah,
wall.
that was
Yeah, yeah.
beautiful. Like
That
very
glass
kind of
wall.
space age, but like where like they finally like stop to arrest him and he's like
Yeah.
running back and forth. In
yeah, I
the
love
hallway,
that. That's when it
and
got
he,
super
like-
slapstick when they do the
Yeah.
double back and forth
Yeah.
for sure. He's
It-
getting chased.
It's got like a lot of like really fun like the shot where like he tapes up Jerry and it's like from above.
Yeah.
He's just like
yeah,
going
yeah.
around him. It does a lot of like cool like Marty stuff. Thinking about kind of going back to After Hours, a shot like that was like that they said was really tough was like where they throw the keys down
Yeah.
and it's like coming straight down. I guess
Oh,
they actually
yeah,
like drop
yeah.
the camera down to do that. And I
okay.
saw that he worked with the cinematographer that's who had worked with Rainer Werner Fassbender, who I've never seen any of his movies.
I only
But
know Michael.
yeah, same. No relation, I don't think.
No, I don't
but,
think so either.
But yeah,
Shame.
Yeah, and also with After Hours, that was the first. I guess Alice Doesn't Live Here was like maybe his first like main movie score.
I've never even heard
But
of it.
every other movie had De Niro until, Griffin Dunn and After Hours.
Yeah, I didn't know Griffin Dunn really
Didn't see
either,
that.
so he was kind of a new presence to me. When I looked him up, I think there were a couple of things I'd seen him in, but he was just still a fresh face, I guess, to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool to see like a different guy, working with Marty.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I also thought about doing Cape Fear, which with like Cape Fear and King of Comedy, but I was like, that's
you
too
talked
De
about that a little
Niro,
bit.
so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like, let's do After Hours. But anyways, 89, 90.
92.
No,
92.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 90.
Beautiful.
it's-
Okay.
Okay, boy.
Yeah,
median
this,
there.
This
Yeah.
I feel like 90. This is a comfortable spot,
Mom! What is it? Please stop calling me.
I want to be black.
Can I also say, I don't know if his mom was real.
That's terrific.
I don't know if his mom was real.
I suppose you could question it a little bit if you want to. It's definitely delusional. I like to think there's a clear cut, like where you see him in the environment with Jerry that you know is not real or at the bar,
Yeah,
and then it cuts back and you know he's at least just yelling off screen
That
to like
scene,
the
like
corner.
at the house, like
The scene at the house was
like, do
very.
you not understand it? Like, oh my gosh.
I think I
Yeah.
got some trivia for you. Hold on.
I wasn't thrown out. They walked me
Yeah.
out.
So, De Niro, Scorsese, and their costume guy, they drove around Times Square and they were looking at magicians and performer store clothing.
Yeah.
And they found this mannequin at Lee McGraw, shirt maker to the stars. And they
Yeah.
essentially just bought everything on the mannequin.
Yeah, that was like,
That
that's
was
exactly
nice.
what he wore.
That was the get up.
Yeah,
And-
he had like a knit tie, like a sweater material tie.
Yeah. His white
It was like
loafers
lime
were
green.
like,
The white loafers,
Yeah.
that polka dot ish jacket. But interesting trivia about that is that years later in the 90s, when that whole costume was auctioned off, it had a Barney's label on the inside, and people were starting to think like, are these motherfuckers working us? Like sometimes these actors and directors come out and they tell fantastical stories about we slipped and fell into that one. It's like,
but yeah,
guys are
it's
liars.
Good. It's good.
good shit though.
Yeah, it was
90, 92, and 89.
Yeah.
That's
And-
respectable.
And also too, like,
pretty much
When I
all the
was thinking
same
of that-
same thing there.
I don't know if you guys. I mean, we've done a couple like director specific episodes kind of already, but I like to do that. Like when I watch a movie, like watch another movie by the director.
I enjoy it
Yeah,
too,
that was good.
especially because I'm watching. I'm like, oh, this is what he did 3 years later. Like this is his thought process. Like he
Yeah.
did this, and he was like, what do I want to do next? And it was this. It does make it kind of fun.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
see,
I
or
like
at least
that
see
a
them
lot.
in different phases.
I like that a lot about
Yeah.
it as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob De Niro, about one more time for him. I mean,
Yeah, absolute respect.
Oh, I
to
saw
that
that he
acting
did a
performance.
movie called the comedian, like
Yeah, he did a
later on,
movie
too,
about like a washed up old comedian.
which I was like,
Yeah, I think I've
remember
gotten confused by that a couple times actually.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Comedy, king of comedy.
Been a lot since then.
I did I was kind of thinking like, this is all kind of about believing in yourself, you know?
Sort of, yeah.
And,
just
like,
To a certain extent.
King
know,
of
it's
Comedy
like
definitely is. I mean, he believes
the
himself.
power of will.
Yeah, and he kind of makes it happen. He succeeds in
Yeah.
this like caper to
Yeah,
like.
for real.
He gains the goodwill of the nation.
Yeah.
It says he gets off after like 2 years of a 7-year sentence.
Well, that's nothing about the ending. I don't know if that's real. When he's got that red suit and the very last scene.
Like where he's
Yeah.
about to like give another monologue. To
I feel like
yeah.
I don't know.
I guess at the point it becomes a newsreel after they kind of carted him away. You can sort of
Yeah.
question it a little bit because that is sort of in line with the fake scenes he has with Jerry Lewis.
Maybe he goes
so,
in a
yeah.
loony bin.
Yeah,
Maybe
I like
the-
to think it fucking worked. I like to
Yeah.
think he
It could be
succeeded,
that.
man.
So.
That there are these like success stories within this absurdity.
I do.
Maybe
kinda
he's
feel
in
like
hell.
That last
no one
part.
got hurt.
That last part does kind of make
No
the
one got
movie
hurt?
feel a little more real too.
Mhm.
Like it's like news is talking about it and like
He got a book
they're
and
like
all
a
that
movie's
shit.
coming out and it's like you're watching the movie that came out about it.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
could be.
and
that could
it's
be
like,
real.
and it's also like the guy said, one of the producers, he was like, "Yo, if it means like Jerry Lewis not dying or Jerry Langford not dying, we'll fucking air his thing. We'll put it
Yeah.
up. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's 10 minutes. It's 5 minutes or whatever. It's no big
Oh,
deal,
yeah.
you know."
I see what you. Yeah,
It'll
yeah,
air
yeah.
once and I'll never see it again. So he obviously got to successfully air out of concern for the Jerry Langford character's safety, and people actually saw it. And like we said, it was a funny monologue, kind of.
And it made me want to watch some Larry Sanders.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Which I know you're a big fan of.
Definitely.
I've
yeah.
seen
Have you ever
some.
seen it?
You've
Larry
seen
Sanders
like
show?
have you seen
The
any
first
more?
episode.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm telling him, it takes a while to get into. But
It definitely does.
I
It's
like it.
worth
Such a
just
good
kind of
show.
putting it on, and
Yeah, it's such a good
Letting it
show.
ride.
Very, very meta. Like
it stays within
You know,
that
and-
construct of being
I
that
feel
talk
like-
show. And
I feel like
having
this
a
was
guest.
also kind of meta. Like it's trying to deal with like, obsessed fans, like real things, and like, they were trying to get Johnny Carson and all this stuff of like blurring the lines between what's real. It's a talk show, but you see like him talking to the producers, going behind the scenes, like
as well as
Yeah.
like honest attempts at trying to emulate what it actually looks like during the legit end product, especially early on in the film too. Like
exactly.
Yeah. I like that. I liked a lot of the behind the scenes things as well, with just Jerry Lewis helping out behind the camera and giving some pointers on
yeah,
this would go this way, this would go that way.
I always like kind of confused Jerry Lewis and Jerry Lee Lewis.
I don't, because I know Lee Lewis is the pedo. So
Yeah.
see, I just kept wanting to say Jerry Garcia for some reason. I was just having a whole unrelated dumb fucking thing. I kept
But
saying.
anyways, till next episode.
till next
Oh, yeah,
episode, Sandy
absolutely.
Bernhard. Yeah. I want to be black.
I want to be black.
Mom! What is it? Please stop calling me.